What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video I am bringing you guys kind of a chatty video, just putting on new products onto my face. I have some new brushes, new powders, and that's basically all the new items that I had, but I still wanted to kind of talk you guys through my base products. So that's basically what I did. If you're interested in this eye look, I did record it, and that should be actually up before this look. If it is, I will of course link it up in the cards above, and of course I will try my best to put it down below as well. But yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing the items that I did put on to get this base look, then just keep watching. Hey guys, so like I said in the intro, today I'm going to be just doing a get ready with me with a couple of new items. I have some new brushes, some new powders, just a couple new items, not that much, but yeah, let's get into it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and prime my face with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Long Wear blah blah blah. It's her only primer. So I like this primer, and I like the fact that I can use this all over my face. I don't feel that I have to localize it just into my crazy T-zone. I think this is a really nice overall moisturizing primer. And yeah, I hadn't used it in a little while, and I wanted to use a different primer than my Smashbox one, so I just reached for this one. So I like very like no fuss primers. I don't like primers that you have to apply them in a particular way. You have to do this, that, the other. That's why I panned and completely got rid of the Becca Evermatte, because I felt like I had to actually sit there and use it in a special technique, and I'm like, this is a primer. I don't have time for that. This is the e.l.f. brow gel, clear brow gel. I like this brow gel. This is not new for me. I basically finished up the one side, almost done with the second side, so I will be getting a new one soon. Okay, now for my base, I'm going to use the Dior Backstage 6N. I haven't used this on camera, so I figured this would be new on camera, not new to me. I have definitely gotten my wear out of this. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of show you guys. Can we not? I wanted to show you guys the foundation, how it wears on my skin, the color match, all of that. So yeah. All right, so that's about generally my first layer. Also, I got a bunch of these Real Technique brushes from TJ Maxx. I decided to go for the plunge. A YouTuber I watch a lot, Loreal, I think that's her name. I can't remember her full screen name. I'll put it on the screen, hopefully. She went insane for these at TJ Maxx, and she's just been talking about them so much. So I decided to purchase some. And yeah, so let's just apply. This foundation brush is weird. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's good. It's just weird. I'm not used to a brush like this. It definitely reminds me of the Sephora Pro brush that is on sale right now for their weekly wows. It's a 3D diffuser foundation brush, and I actually was looking at that, and then I realized I just purchased this, so I will not be buying that brush, thankfully. And yeah, this is a decent brush. I wouldn't say this is going to be my new holy grail foundation brush, but it definitely does apply the foundation. You see it's nice and airbrushed. It definitely is nicely into my skin. This foundation pretty much dries down in my opinion, and yeah, I think this is a good foundation brush, and it's nice and big, so you can, it's a decent surface that you're not like sitting there blending for days, but it's definitely not my favorite foundation brush, I'm not gonna lie to you. And I've actually started using my Sephora 57. This is a concealer brush. I've been using this more often to take the concealer off my hand and actually apply it under my under eyes the way I want. So I have found use for this brush because I don't really like it to blend, but I think putting the concealer down, like see, that was all the concealer from under on my hand. So I don't feel the need now to get any more concealer. What I'll do is just spread it out with this brush, specifically my under eyes. Spread it out. And then I'll go in with my foundation brush, which today is the Real Techniques, and I will buff it in. And this way, yes, these particular areas get highlighted, but they're not so highlighted that like you can tell. You know what I mean? That's kind of my aesthetic. And then let's just blend this in. And you see how that just blends in, even though this concealer is way too light for my complexion, in my opinion. And there. So that's really nice. And now it's time to set my under eyes. And I'm still loving the Sonia G19 brush. I love this brush. I really wish I purchased more of them, but I didn't. And I'm actually using this new product that I got from Becca. It's the Becca Soft Light Blurring Powder in Pink Haze. I remember this came out, I want to say sometime last year, and it was not loved. People did not like it at all. I actually wanted to get this because it's a different color than all the loose powders that I have, and all the powders in general. It's pink. And looking into undertone situations, I realized that like I'm a pinker undertone, so I thought it would be interesting to use an under eye setting powder that is actually pink and see if that works better for me than these yellow powders that you can tell it's yellow on my skin. And I don't use a hefty amount. I'm not a huge, I hate all the like flutters of powder all throughout the, no. So I don't use a lot. I generally just take from the top of the powder, I tap into the tip, the top, and that's how I apply it. So just making sure I get this section highlighted. Okay, there you go. All right, so that is my face highlighted. Next, I want to set my actual face. Even though the Dior foundation really sets, in my opinion, I still like to set my face. And I have a new powder. So my new powder for that is actually the All Nighter Waterproof Setting Powder. I purchased this off the Urban Decay website. They were having a sale and I had wanted this powder. I just didn't want to pay full price for it. So I decided to purchase this. I have used this before. This is not a first impression on any item. I don't know if I said that earlier. And I think it sets nicely, although I think it can give me a slight white cast. I feel as though on days that I use this powder, my bronzer really does pop on my skin because the powder lightens up my complexion a little bit. And yeah, so this is the powder. It's definitely a whiter powder, but it's supposed to be, at least I thought it was supposed to be somewhat translucent. But then again, Andrea Montiliano, she has said that the powder is darker than her complexion because she uses it for her under eyes. So I guess I should have known. But yeah, so I like the powder. It definitely lightens up my complexion. So that can be a good or bad thing. It helps for my bronzer to actually pop on my skin. But then again, I like to go back on days that I use that powder with a finishing powder just to give my skin more actual color and keep it moving, if that makes sense. So for my bronzer today, I got a new bronzer. I think I've used this in a video. I don't know if I would have posted it by now. I don't know. You guys know my life. I record and then I hope to post in a timely manner. So this is another Becca product. I got this from TJ Maxx as well. It's a multitasker perfect powder and deep bronze. So I got this thinking about the Kion. No, that's not the shade. The other powder that I have from Becca, and that's another multitasking powder, but that one is definitely a lot more neutral to cool undertones. This one is definitely has more warmer undertones, and so I think this one is more of a typical bronzer on my complexion. I definitely do see it on my complexion, and I like it. I like it. It's definitely not, still not like my perfect bronzer, but I like it. I really do. And this is of course another one of the Real Techniques brushes. This brush, when I saw it in the packaging, it's called a powder brush, but it reminds me of, what is it, 217 bronzer, the powder brush from MAC. And then also, what's the other brush? I think the not the Marc Jacobs, the Tom Ford brush is also that same built. So it reminds me of those brushes, and I just figured I'd go for it. So yeah, this is the deep bronze on my complexion, and I like it. It's not the best, it's not the worst, I like it. So yeah, let's keep going. I should do brows. I'm also, of course, panning my brow products. I've gotten through all of my brow products except for this. I've hit pan on either, like if it's powder, for example, this Wet n Wild powder, I hit pan on the darker one because that's the one I use the majority of my brow. I did that with another brow kit, and then all of my other pomades I've hit pan on. So I just wanted to hit pan on this. Once again, just trying to get wear out of my products. And you know, it's always so satisfying to hit pan on stuff. So this is the new brow pomade that you guys will see me tagging on Instagram because it's time for me to hit pan. So I don't really have a unique brow technique, and I don't think my brows ever look the same. I do different brows in different situations, and I have like my 5-minute brows where I literally just take the Essence brow gel and I just run those through my brows and I call it a day. But on days that I have more dramatic brows, I do tend to reach for a pomade. I will say that this pomade has definitely dried down, not in a bad way, it's just dried out. I think it's good though, because then you don't grab as much product and then you can really work the product through your brows. For instance, this is, I think this is more on the side of the ABH brow powder or brow pomade, although I've never tried it. Based on the brow pencil, I would say this is probably more on the same lines as that pomade than like the NYX pomade, because that NYX pomade is very malleable. It's very, like, regardless of how long you keep it open, because I did pan that one. That one is very, like, you dip it into it, it's very creamy. So you can tend to get a lot of product without even wanting to. But yeah, so I do like this pomade. I like that, like, you're not going to get an obscene amount of product, but you also don't get stupid little. So I like it. And I think that it definitely does stay in my brows. Although I've never had a problem with a brow product not staying in my brows. I typically just get oily brows depending on the product. So yeah, I think those are pretty even today. So I will go with it. All right, so brows done. That's all I do for my brows, especially when I'm doing a pomade. I typically, if I'm just doing a pencil, I'll go back in with my Essence Make Me Brow, but since it's a pomade, no ma'am. Now I need a blush. This is a cool tone look. Let me see if I can find a cool tone blush. I have them, I just gotta find them. Give me 1 second. All right. I think I'm gonna go with the Loreal one, because as weird as it sounds, it's less pigmented. And I'm not really feeling a super pigmented blush today. And I'm just going to go ahead and use the blush brush that's in that same kit. Not kit, that same collection with the other brushes that I've used today. Yeah, like you guys can probably not even see that I'm putting blush on, but I am. And then the thing I like about this brush is you can lay it down flat, but you can also blend it out. It reminds me of the Sephora 73 brush that I purchased. So these are the brushes. The only difference is that clearly The Real Techniques one is thicker than the Sephora, so you can't blend it out with this one. With this one, if you ever go too ham, because I did that yesterday, you can just blend it out with the tip and it'll be perfectly fine. So I really do like this Real Techniques brush, and it would be helpful for those who go too ham on their blush. Just trying to make sure they're even, then let's blend. Okay. Okay, I think that is good. Now, highlighter. Why didn't I get this while I was up? Okay. So I'm gonna actually use my Milani holographic beams because I've been reaching for the ABH Aurora palette a lot, and I think I'm gonna do this blue one. Just because you guys know I love to have weird highlighter colors on. I don't care. So just put this on. And you guys can clearly see that that is blue. Okay, let's get it on this side. Perfect. You can slightly see the color if I look face on. You can slightly see it, but I don't really care. I know a lot of people do. They're like, oh no, it's not blending. You can see it. Oh well. It's highlighter. You can tell I'm wearing foundation and eyeshadow, so at that point I could care less if you can tell that I'm wearing highlighter. Okay, so that is done. Now it's time to do a finishing powder. Like I said, when I use that Urban Decay powder, I like to just go in with the finishing powder, and I've actually been reaching for this back again, and this is my Black Radiance True Complexion Soft Focus Finishing Powder, and I'm just using this little kabuki brush from Real Techniques. This is my first brush of this style, so it's very interesting. And then I just go ahead and buff over everything, and I think this really just brings the color back into my whole face that I lost from that Urban Decay all-nighter powder, but it also helps me to make sure to blend. Oh, okay, I just didn't see half my brow, huh? Okay, whatever. It also helps to make sure to blend in all of my cheek products. So yeah, that is kind of my routine. Let me see if I have a new lip product. I don't think so. Let me see. Alrighty guys, so I just kind of wanted to come back after my camera shut down. I don't know where it shut down, but all of the items will of course be linked down below. Only thing I'm gonna do is just finish up my eyes. Because I forgot to do it in my tutorial. So we're just gonna do it here on this video. And all I have left is my mascara. Okay, so yeah, this is the finished look. Of course, you guys saw me put the base on, and you guys will be seeing my eye look. I should already have that up. So yeah, I just wanted to come back and show you guys the full look together with the eye makeup completed and my base makeup completed. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace.